Alright guys, so I just got done watching Joker Folie Deux on 4K, and as you can see, I'm a lot happier. So let's put a smile on that face and talk about it. Can I have a cigarette? Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel. I'm Ken, and today guys, we've got another 4K review for you. This is coming to us from Warner Brothers. They sent this one to me a little bit early to talk about on the channel. This is Joker Folie Deux. Look at this, guys. Nice 4K crispy slip on this thing. There is also a Blu-ray edition as well that I don't think has a slipcover, and there is a Steelbook version as well. I'll link all that stuff down below in the description, guys, if you decide you want to get this after I'm done talking about it. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I don't know. I will note that this 4K does not have the Blu-ray in it. The Blu-ray just has the Blu-ray, but the 4K Steelbook has both the 4K and the Blu-ray. So if you want both editions, it might be your best bet to get that 4K Steelbook. So yeah, Joker Folie Deux, or as I like to call it, Joker 2 Electric Boogaloo. We're going to get into all things Joker 2. I'm just going to call it Joker 2, guys. That's what it is, really. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This right here, it's a very divisive film. I still don't quite know what I'm going to say about this, to be completely honest. I'm kind of flabbergasted by my experience with Joker 2. I guess it should be noted that, you know, I had this edition of Joker right here. I only bought this on Blu-ray, actually, because I just love the Target exclusive. I was going to get it on 4K, but I just never did. But I saw Joker in the theaters, and I really liked it. I feel like when I was actually watching it, though, like, I wasn't sure. I wasn't, like, exactly sure, like, what is this? Like, what exactly are we doing? Is he even the Joker? Like, what is it? Well, who's Arthur Fleck? Like, but I did think Joaquin Phoenix did a great job in the role. Like, he won an Academy Award for playing the Joker in this film, which he's not the first actor to win an Academy Award. Heath Ledger did it back in 2009 for The Dark Knight, but that was Best Supporting. This was Best Actor. So it was a great performance by Joaquin Phoenix for sure, but I wasn't like entirely sure like what I thought about this movie. It was definitely like riffing off of Martin Scorsese with like Taxi Driver, the King of Comedy, which I've still never seen the King of Comedy. Like, I could definitely see the Taxi Driver influence as well. This is very much like a commentary on mental health. I just thought it was a really like well done movie that by the time you got to the end of it, things were just kind of left ambiguous as to like what exactly this was. Was he the Joker that we know, that we love, the great Batman villain, or was he somebody else? Was he like the idea of the Joker, the idea that would spark like the future Joker in this universe? Because Batman, Bruce Wayne is a kid in this movie. But let's flash forward and talk about Joker Folie Deux, which is really the follow-up. Like, this is a pretty true sequel. Like, it takes place a couple of years after he shoots Robert De Niro's character from the first film. I forget his name. Robert Murray, I think. He has the talk show. He comes on the talk show, shoots him in the head. Sorry if you haven't seen the first Joker. That's kind of a spoiler. But this takes place 2 years after that. He's in the mental facility, the mental asylum. I'm pretty sure, I guess it's Arkham Asylum. Lady Gaga's in there. She's playing Harley Quinn. They meet in the mental asylum. It's kind of revealed that she checked herself in to meet the Joker because she was just kind of like a super fan of the Joker and wanted to meet him. And she was like building and creating a life for them outside the asylum. Then there's a trial coming up where he's got a lawyer played by Catherine Kinnear. And they're basically going to decide, like, is he mentally unstable? Can he plead insanity to kind of get off and avoid like the death penalty, to kind of go into like further testing and mental rehabilitation, things like that. So the movie's like two parts. Like, it's like part set in the asylum and then it's part this trial. And throughout you have like these dreamlike sequences that kind of play into it. And that kind of brings in the musical aspect of the movie. So there's several like, there's moments in the movie where you're just not sure, like, is this really happening? Is this a dream? They don't do a great job of distinguishing between the two. The movie's very abstract. It's very surreal. I felt like the first one had like a certain sense of like being grounded in reality, even though there was like dream, like surreal stuff in the first one as well. So I think I think this movie, look, let me tell you how I feel about the movie. I liked it okay. I did not hate the movie. I don't think it's a terrible movie. It's very well directed. It looks beautiful, like on screen. We'll get into that when we talk about the 4K. The performances are great. I heard a lot of people talk about Lady Gaga and how she was kind of wasted as a character and she wasn't in the movie very much. I didn't really find that to be true watching it. Like, I felt like she was actually a pretty important character in the film and was actually kind of prevalent in a lot of the scenes throughout the movie. So I think she's great. Like, I've been a fan of Lady Gaga since A Star is Born. Like, I was just really enamored with that film and the music and the soundtrack. Like, I loved it when it came out. So, like, I was very excited when this movie got announced. The idea of it being a kind of like a dark musical set in the Gotham like world with the Joker and Harley Quinn played by Lady Gaga. Like, that sounded like a dream to me. The problem with this movie is it never really like delivers entirely on the musical aspect, because they are using like these dream sequences to be the more like musical aspect of the film. So the actual like movie, the stuff that's grounded in reality, isn't really the stuff that they're using for the musical, if that makes any sense. It almost feels like the musical just like the musical parts like break up the pace of the film. Whereas like in most musicals, like the musical numbers are integrated as a part of the story and they kind of further the plot in the story and the characters. Whereas in this movie, it kind of just like stops the movie dead in its tracks and just like does this like Elseworld thing and then brings you back in. So it almost feels like it serves no purpose. So I don't feel like it truly like delivered on the musical aspect like I was hoping that it would when it was first announced. But it is a gorgeous movie. Like, it is a gorgeous movie. And there are some incredible like sequences that were shot like in this film. Like, Todd Phillips has really like come into his own as a director. It's kind of a shame it was kind of, I don't want to say wasted, because he made his art. It almost felt like in this movie, like Todd Phillips is almost like going through a midlife like existential crisis, like making this film. Like, he just had something in him that he just had to get out. Like, that's what this movie kind of feels like. But it's a very well directed movie. Like, I feel like I hope that he continues to make movies like this. I just hope that the story's a little bit less jumbled and makes a little bit more sense. And, you know, get out of the DC, the comic book stuff. Like, go make movies like this that don't have the baggage of being in the DC universe and the baggage of being like one of the most popular villains of all time. Because that's when you bring in all of these people that are expecting these comic booky things in your movie. And when you don't deliver on that, like, that's where you get the hate. Like, that's where the hate comes from. That's where the vitriol comes from. Everybody's saying this is one of the worst movies they've ever seen in their life. I'm like, have you seen a lot of movies? Because there's a lot of movies that are worse than Joker, Folie, and Deux. It's a fine film. It's a very well-made film. It's just the story's kind of jumbled. I think tonally, like, it really fits and is in line with the first one, like, tonally. But this is a movie that it is a little bloated. It's a little long. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. I felt the length. Like, at hour one, I felt the length of this movie. It was way too long. And by the time I got to the end of it, I'm like, you know, I didn't think that was terrible. I kind of liked, like, parts of it. But this is a movie that I don't even know if I'm ever going to watch it again. Like, maybe I'll watch it, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years when I go back and I'm in the mood to watch the first Joker. I may pop in Joker, Folie, Deux after, see if my thoughts change, see if I'm seeing like what some people are seeing, because some people are saying this is kind of a masterpiece. I've heard that. See if I see what other people are seeing or not. See if it improves upon like future rewatches. But I'm definitely not in the mood to rewatch this like anytime soon. Like, it is kind of a slog to get through this film. So that's my thoughts on the movie. I hope I conveyed my thoughts on the movie accurately enough to how I actually feel. So getting into the 4K, guys, this is a native 4K. Part of this movie was filmed on 70mm in IMAX, but a large portion was filmed digitally. So it's a native 4K. It's got the Dolby Vision. It's got the HDR10. And here's the thing about the 4K. I thought it looked beautiful. But I can't really compare it to the Blu-ray. What I can tell you is I've got the first Joker on Blu-ray, and I remember watching this on Blu-ray and thinking it looked great on Blu-ray. So I'm sure this is a situation that if you don't really care about the packaging, like you just maybe want to own this movie in your collection, you don't care about slipcovers, all that kind of stuff, because the Blu-ray doesn't have it, maybe just get the Blu-ray, and it's probably going to look pretty close to how this 4K does. Now, the 4K is definitely going to have more detail. It's going to pop more of that Dolby Vision, that HDR. And the movie, like, look, there are certain sequences, like some of those dreamlike sequences, like when Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix are on the stage and they got the colored like curtains behind them and they're performing. Just great stuff. There really is like, there's great music in this. There's great like classic music, but there's also like some newer like musical numbers in the film as well. And I did enjoy the music. I enjoyed the score as well. I think they brought back the same girl that did the score from the first one. I forget her name. It's like Hilga or something like that. But the music's beautiful. I thought the musical numbers were good. Like certain like musical numbers and sequences are very well done. But that scene has tons of colors and is just executed like and filmed and shot beautifully. And then there's the scene on the rooftop with like the neon sign that's kind of glowing blue and stuff. All that stuff looks great. The moon in the background. Like there are some incredibly like striking visual sequences in this film that do look great on 4K. But what I'm saying is, you know, I watched this one on Blu-ray and I remember it looking great. I'm sure Joker, Folie Deux, if you want to save a couple bucks, it probably looks good on Blu-ray as well. You know, this 4K, here's the thing. It's $29.95. If you didn't see this movie in the theaters and you're just kind of blind buying this, I don't know, $30 is a lot to blind buy for Joker, Folie Deux. But the thing with Warner Brothers is that, you know, yeah, it's $30 now, but the price usually drops on the Warner Brothers stuff pretty rapidly. I could see this being like $25 in the next couple of weeks, then going down to the low 20s and having several sales in 2025 on Amazon where this is like 15 or $12 or something like that. Dune 2 has been down to like 13 to 14 bucks, and not just during Black Friday. It was down to that like just during regular like Prime sales and things like that. And on Groove, they do several sales with Warner Brothers titles where it's like 3 for 30, 3 for 35. So this may be one you want to wait to get on 4K, and you can probably get it for pretty cheap later on down the line. It looks great on 4K, but it's like a new movie. It's a modern movie. Of course it's going to look great on 4K, right? It's just not, I guess like I'm going back to the film itself here for a little bit. The movie itself, to me, like you're going to be disappointed. I think most people are going to be disappointed in this movie. It's not worth $30. It's just not worth $30. Getting into the sound, you got Dolby Atmos, you got Dolby True, HD 7.1, you got Dolby 5.1, French and Spanish. Also, you got 5.1 as well. It sounded great. Like I said, the music's fantastic, but the sound design's incredible. Like there's a sequence at the end where Arthur Fleck, Joker, Joaquin Phoenix is running down the street. Just how they play with the sound in that sequence and some of the things that come before that is really incredible. So the Atmos sounds amazing. Big, loud like moments in conjunction with the music and the score. So it sounds spectacular. The Atmos is incredible. Now, getting into the packaging, we'll do an unboxing here, guys. I really like this slipcover a lot. I love the image on here. Just you got Joker, you got Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. I think it looks great. On the back, you've got your special features, some images from the movie, and all that good stuff. We'll get into the special features here in a second. And down there, you got all the specs and some more details. Take it out. On the back, you got the cast list that they add. Then you got the front of the 4K case. Open it up. You do have a digital code in here, and you also have a green 4K disc. Like I said, there is no Blu-ray in this edition. Now, getting into the special features, guys. Let's see. There is I think about a 45-minute documentary on the making of this movie. It's split into 4 parts. It's called Everything Must Go, Can I Have a Cigarette? Which is the iconic line of Joker in this movie. Can you imagine that? All the iconic Joker lines we have. Let's put a smile on that face. Do you want to know how I got these scars? You ever dance to the devil in the pale moonlight? All the iconic Joker taglines. I don't even remember what Jared Leto says as Joker. All the iconic, but the iconic tagline of Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, is "Can I have a cigarette?" That's what it is. That's what we've been reduced to with our DC and Joker movies. So, Can I Have a Cigarette? Finding Lee, 100 Films in One, and King of Nothing. So this is a pretty extensive documentary. Pretty cool that they included that in here, to be honest. And they really get into stuff, guys. They really get into how they wanted to make this different and how they couldn't just do the same thing for the sequel. And you could just tell that the people that were making the film, like they cared about what they were doing. in a certain way. Like they really wanted to try to make a masterpiece here. I think that a lot of them knew it probably wasn't going to appeal to the masses, but I think a lot of them probably thought that with the first one, and the first one kind of did appeal to the masses. So I can't really fault them for taking a swing here, because they took a swing with the first one and it worked. So why not try to take a swing again, an even bigger swing with the second one? And then you got the character of music, talking about the music of the film and the score, crafted with class, colors of madness, and live with Joker, which they kind of talk about. There's a really cool like animated sequence at the beginning of the film, which I didn't really know about, and I thought that was actually pretty cool. But yeah, this is a lot of features here. I think it's over an hour of special features with this release. Here's where I struggle with this, guys. I don't know if most people are going to like this movie. I really don't. So I can't sit here, even though I got it from Warner Brothers to review and talk about for you guys. I'm not going to push like crap on you. I don't think it's crap. I really don't. But I've heard from enough people, and there's been enough chatter online. The masses don't enjoy this movie. And I don't think the majority of people went to see it, because the movie didn't make a lot of money in the theater. So I think a lot of people are just going off of what they heard online. But a lot of people that have seen this don't enjoy it. And even though like I didn't hate the movie, I still don't think it's a masterpiece. And I think there's a lot of problems with the actual film itself. And I don't think it fully delivers on the premise and on what it's set up to be as a film. So I can't honestly say I recommend this. I can't recommend it. I just can't recommend it. You can get it if it's interesting to you. Now, if you saw it in the theaters and you loved it, this is a great release. It's a great release. Looks great. Sounds great. Great features. I like the packaging, on the 4K. So if you saw it and you loved it, like, absolutely, I can recommend this. If you haven't seen it, as far as like a blind buy, I can't recommend Joker to Electric Boogaloo. I'm sorry, guys. But like I said, wait till it goes down in price. Wait until there's like a 3 for $35 sale on Groove.com. Like, wait till then to pick up this movie on 4K. But that's my review of Joker 2. Very honest review of Joker Folie Deux on 4K. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, turn on those bell notifications for all future videos, and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.